Welcome back to the Seeing Red MMA podcast here. I am your host, Dustin. Going over this weekend's fight here, UFC Fight Night, Rozenstruik versus Almeida. This is also going to be on ABC, so it's going to be a little bit earlier of a card here than what we're traditionally used to as of late. But you got Jairzinho-Rozenstruik returning against Jailton Almeida in the main event. Anthony Smith taking on johnnywalker in the co-main event, and then a fun welterweight matchup with Danielrodriguez and Iangarry. So we're going to dive right into this one here, starting with the main event. Jairzinho-Rozenstruik, filthy striker, one of the most technical strikers we have in the heavyweight division, coming off a knockout victory over Dawkins here in his last outing, but he's taking on a guy that I believe is a terrible matchup for him, Jailton Almeida, who is a submission expert, kind of a lighter guy for the heavyweight division there. I mean, he kind of made his staple in the light heavyweight division and then made the move up and has been tearing through the division there with his speed and his athleticism as well, too. So, going to be one of those fights where it's probably not going to last very long. I mean, Jairzinho does have a bit of a hole in his game when it does come to the wrestling department there. I mean, it's definitely not his bread and butter per se. I mean, when Cyril Gane is pressing you in the grappling department, you know you got some problems to probably solve there. But, I mean, as of right now, I mean, the heavyweight division is extremely shallow, especially with the departure of Francis Ngannou. And now you got a guy in John Jones holding the heavyweight division in his grips there. I mean, we got a new champion, so it's not all that shallow, but at the same time, though, when your heavyweight champion is as dominant as a guy like John Jones there, you could see why I'm afraid for the future of this division here. But that's why we got Jailton Almeida, the future of the heavyweight division. A really solid guy. I mean, he's got very, very, very good grappling skills, and for his size, just for the weight that he weighs in at, kind of an undersized guy here, but extremely good grappling. We haven't had a really high-level submission guy in the UFC since, like, Nogueira, Frank Mir, even, like, Fabricio Verdum and things like that. It's been a while since we've had a guy who's been just subbing people left and right. I know he's pretty early into his UFC career here, but at the same time, though, against a guy like Jairzinho, this should be a pretty easy win for him as long as he doesn't get caught. If he can time his takedowns accordingly and get Jairzinho to the ground as soon as possible there, should be pretty easy work for him, I must say. I mean, I bet there's a lot of people that agree with me. I mean, there's a reason why Almeida, at this moment, this is Tuesday night before the fight, May 9th. The fight is this weekend, May 13th. But Almeida is sitting right now, I'm looking at the UFC's website, the odds have him as a minus 490. So he's an extremely heavy favorite there. I mean, if you like underdogs, I mean, anybody can get caught at any given moment. And with a guy like Jairzinho, who has ridiculous power, maybe throw a couple shekels on him and see what might happen. But, I mean, with odds like this, I definitely think the matchmakers know what they're talking about, because it's the classic striker versus grappler matchup here. I mean, I can't imagine that Almeida is going to try and stand with Jairzinho. I mean, he's a smart guy. He's new to the UFC-ish, new-ish, I would say. He's trying to make his staple. I mean, everybody wants to be champion, so if you're going to make a run, do it the smart way. Be undeniable. I mean, it's one of those fights where it's like, I think this main event's not going to last very long. I could see maybe even a first round, maybe early second round submission, depending on how Almeida wants to play it out. But really, I think this is Almeida's, like, fight here to go. I mean, this is a fight to make or break him as a name, as a household name for the heavyweight division. But yeah, it's going to be a tough night for Rozenstruik. I'm fairly confident to say Almeida's probably going to get the job done pretty early on the ground. But your co-main event is a little bit different. It's pretty even odds. You got Anthony Smith taking on Johnny Walker, number 5 versus number 7. Anthony Smith being respected number 5 in light heavyweight, Walker being number 7. So we know Walker's had a bit of a rough go as of late, same with Anthony Smith as well. But, I mean, the odds have it reflected minus 110 for each of them. So it's pretty much a dead even fight. I don't really know who's going to win this one either. But if I had to pick, I mean, Anthony Smith is tough. Johnny Walker's explosive, but Johnny Walker tends to leave himself open for some certain things. So with a veteran like Anthony Smith there, I could kind of give the edge to Anthony Smith, probably getting it to the ground and getting a TKO or a submission win against a guy like Walker. I could also see Walker landing something crazy and getting a knockout win again. If you remember his last fight, he got that weird knockout win against Paul Craig that it wasn't even a bad stoppage, I would say. It was a perfect stoppage because Paul Craig was definitely hurt, but it was just a weird way to finish a fight. So in this fight here, I mean, I kind of want to ride with Anthony Smith. I could see Johnny Walker winning as well too, but the odds definitely reflect what I'm thinking. I mean, it's pretty much dead even between the two of them, so I wouldn't be surprised if either of them gets the dub. Hopefully it's a good fight, though, at least. I think it will be entertaining because Johnny Walker seems, whether if he's winning or he's losing, besides the Thiago Santos fight, besides that showing there, I mean, he seems to bring the fight out of a lot of guys there, and I think he does pretty well when he's put against high-level competition. I think he does rise to the occasion, except for, like I said, the aforementioned Thiago Santos fight. Nonetheless, though, this is a fight to see if Iangarry is really about it. He's taking on Danielrodriguez, a ranked welterweight contender, number 15. I mean, if we watched Iangarry's last fight, he did get clipped with that check left hook in his last fight there. Danielrodriguez has sick boxing, but the odds seem to have Iangarry as a minus 285 here. So, I mean, I think he's still a little young. Do I think he could possibly get past Rodriguez? Yeah. Do I think he knocks out Rodriguez? No. I think Rodriguez does bring the dog out of Ian, makes him fight in a certain way that he really hasn't fought yet before. Honestly, I would have to give the edge to Daniel Rodriguez here. I mean, that's where I would put my money because Iangarry's good. Don't get me wrong. I just think he's got a lot of growing up to do. I think he's got to maybe take a couple of L's in the UFC before he really finds himself and becomes one of those top welterweight contenders. I mean, long, rangy, has really good boxing, but when you got a dog across from you like Rodriguez there, it's going to be a tough night for you. It's going to be a real tough night. Bear with me. Sorry. Had to get my nicotine fix. But this fight's interesting, though. Both very good boxers. Different kind of boxers there. Iangarry definitely with the longer punches there at range. 1-2s, uppercuts, hooks, and things like that once he's got you hurt. Rodriguez is kind of more get in the pocket there and duke it out. I think this fight, stylistically, it does suit Iangarry, but I don't know if he's got that dog in him yet. So it's one of those things we'll have to definitely see, but I mean, I could definitely see Iangarry getting the win. The odds reflect that, but don't ever count out Daniel Rodriguez there. I mean, he's got that dog in him. Also, if you haven't heard, Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill was taken off this card and pushed to a different card for a main event there. So don't worry, guys. We won't have to watch that haram fight until a week from today, or a week from Saturday, better said, because I saw that fight and I was like, yay, bathroom break fight, yay, beer break fight. I mean, I don't want to seem like a hater. I mean, there's definitely some talent at that division. I mean, we just saw Jessica Andrade get knocked out by Jan. Still can't pronounce her fucking name. We'll call her Jan. But we just saw her get knocked out by Jan not too long ago. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeesh. If this is a main event, number 9 versus like number 11 or whatever it is, or number 12, whatever Angela Hill's ranked at, that's your main event. I mean, after this card, I do like this card, don't get me wrong. We'll get into the next fight here shortly, but, I mean, up until July, UFC is going to be struggling, man. The next couple cards coming up, even the next pay-per-view in Vancouver, it's tough, man. It is really tough. Like, these fight cards have really taken a dive. Nonetheless, though, I mean, carlosulberg will be taking on ihorpotieria. Carlosulberg coming off a knockout win over ihorpotieria. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm horrible at pronouncing names, so if you're trying to give me shit about it, go ahead. I got some sort of tism, so leave me alone. But a Ukrainian fighter coming off a win over Shogun in January there, where he knocked him out in front of the Brazilian crowd and then proceeded the Fortnite dance over his unconscious body. That was pretty cool of you, man. It's pretty cool of you. I got carlosulberg, man. I think carlosulberg is really maturing, and I think he's getting a lot better as he's been training with the champ Izzy and things like that. I know he had a tough run when he made his debut against Kennedy Nzechukwu, if that's how you pronounce that name, man. These names are getting rough. These names are getting real rough, guys. But I think carlosulberg probably gets the knockout victory. I mean, it's a good fight to see where they at, and the odds reflect that as well, too. carlosulberg is a minus 410 minus 410 to Potieria's plus 330. So I think they're kind of trying to set up Carlos to be the next big thing, especially at light heavyweight. Or, I mean, you got like Ankalaev and things like that. I mean, you got Paul Craig, I heard, is moving down to middleweight, but the light heavyweight division needs some new life to it. I know we're getting Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska probably later this year in the Boston card, but at the same time, though, I mean, it's been a rough go for the light heavyweight division ever since Prohaska blew his shoulder out there. But nonetheless, Carlosulberg is going to get the KO. I firmly believe that. Timmeans will be fighting alexmorono in the main card opener, so pretty much all the fights got moved up a spot because of Mackenzie Dern and Angela Hill getting pushed back. But Timmeans, I mean, he's a veteran, man. He's a dog. He's been fighting forever. I mean, I know he's coming off that fight with Kevin Holland, and alexmorono is coming off the knockout loss to Ponzinibbio. So, I mean, both guys coming off losses. They're not ranked or anything like that. I don't think this is going to be like a fight where either of them's going to get a ranking, especially with Timmeans' age. And alexmorono there, I mean, he seems to do really well, especially with guys that are kind of old, longer in the tooth, like Cowboy Cerrone. So this might be a fight that does benefit alexmorono. I mean, he's a minus 225 going into this fight as well, too. So I could definitely see Morono pulling out a victory and kind of making his way towards a ranking position there. No means any title shot or anything like that. I do not think alexmorono can hang with the rest of the welterweight division there. And, I mean, with a striker like Timmeans, if Timmeans can get going and get those combinations and those elbows going, I could really see him being a problem for alexmorono there. So part of me wants to put money on Timmeans in this case. The other part of me wants to play it safe with alexmorono, because every time you think alexmorono is out, he somehow seems to pull it off. I mean, if you look back at his last fight, he wasn't doing bad against Ponzinibbio there. I mean, he definitely got knocked out and had kind of the Rashad Evans face when Rashad fought Machida. It was like, ooh, falling backwards. But, I mean, the guy comes out and he wins fights. When you don't think he's going to win, that's when he wins. But, like I said, besides the Ponzinibbio fight there. Sorry, I'm just, forehead's itchy. But at the same time, though, it's just hard to bet against a guy like Timmeans, who's just got that dog in him. And if I'm leaning so close to the mic, I apologize as well too. I am just trying to drown out the sound of my apartment complex, because last video, listen back to it, you could fully hear fucking Tom Cruise flying over my apartment playing fucking, I don't even know. I just had a brain fart on the song from Top Gun. Danger Zone. You could hear him playing Danger Zone through his fucking F-14 over my apartment, and then my neighbor's coming up the stairs with the groceries talking about, oh my god, milk's so expensive, eggs, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, shut up. I'm doing a podcast here. Your prelim headliner is Matt Brown versus Court McGee, two veterans of the game there. I mean, definitely stylistically leans towards Court McGee, Matt Brown being known for being a striker, while Court McGee definitely being known for more of a grappler. So I could see why the odds reflect minus 205 for Court McGee there, but I mean, let me check something here real quick. Yeah, so Court McGee's last fight was June 18th of last year, so almost a year ago to the day, when he got sent to the land of wind and ghost by Jeremiah Wells. Matt Brown's last fight there, I know it's been a while for both of them, because I mean they're getting long in the tooth, lost to Brian Barberina over a year ago, March 26th, so both coming off nearly a year layoff there. I want to lean with Matt Brown because I feel like Court McGee's last loss is going to be more detrimental to his chin. And I don't think you're getting to that age where I don't think your chin's going to hold up. And Court McGee has never been known as a guy who knocks people out either. So I don't think you're going to see Matt Brown get wobbled by Court McGee there. I got Matt Brown probably finishing this fight within the distance. And then you got Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman, a heavyweight bout. Now, we all know how heavyweight prelim fights go. They're either going to be a slugfest and someone's going to get finished in the first round, like Parker Porter and Braxton Smith, or we're going to have to watch like a horrible put them against the fence, dirty boxing. Everyone's tired. Even the fans are watching are tired because they want to go to sleep during that fight. But odds are leaving heavy on Carl Williams here, minus 425 right now, coming off a win over Brzezinski. So I mean, he's definitely got some momentum. 8-1 in his MMA career there. Chase Sherman, I mean, he's been around forever. I mean, he's coming off the loss to Waldo Cortez there. He's 16-11. I mean, Chase Sherman's been fighting since before the Reebok deal in the UFC there. Can't say that for a lot of these other heavyweights that have come and gone since then. But Chase Sherman, I want to lean towards you. I'm a fan of Chase Sherman there. I just think Carl Williams is probably going to get the job done. Cody Stamann versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. Pick 'em. -155 for Cody, +135 for De Andrade. Want to go with Cody. He's coming off momentum back in January as well, too, on the Brazil card. Got the decision win. Definitely going to lean towards Cody in this fight there. I think Douglas Silva de Andrade is just getting pretty old, long in the tooth there. It's been fighting at decent level for a while now, so I could see it's probably Cody Stamann. Congratulations to Cody Stamann. If you're watching this, and I know that you are, congratulations to you as well, too. I heard after this fight, you will have made your goal of $1 million in revenue from fighting. So that's a big feather in your cap there. Congratulations on that. I wish a lot of fighters can have that kind of goal and achieve it as well, too. On to the next fight. Natan Levy, the Israeli wrestler, is going to be taking on Pete Rodriguez. On to the no, I'm just kidding. Natan Levy's going to wrestle Pete Rodriguez pretty handedly as well, too. I mean, Pete Rodriguez, he's coming off that win over knocking out Mike Jackson. Before that, Jack Della Maddalena put everyone on notice by knocking him out. But, I mean, Pete Rodriguez, for being in the UFC, this was kind of surprising to me. He's 4-1. He is very green, especially for being in the welterweight division for a UFC career there. I mean, luck, timing, and opportunity in his case there, because, I mean, I know he got the knockout loss against Maddalena, come back and get the knee knockout win over Mike Jackson. It's kind of one of those guys where you're just like, wow, you're already in the UFC. Then you got 8-1 Natan Levy, who has higher level competition wins under his belt. I don't even think this guy's lost in the UFC yet. Let me see. Oh, yeah, he did. He lost the unanimous decision against Rafa Garcia. Okay, I stand corrected. That was his UFC debut, but he's 2-1 in his UFC career so far. Natan Levy's going to wrestle him all day and all night. Ji Yeon Kim, Mandy Baum. Brian Battle is fighting Gabe Green. Brian Battle, you might know him from The Ultimate Fighter. I know he had a really good head kick knockout before his last fight against... What is that? What kind of last name is that? Fakhretdinov? Fakhretdinov. No. I feel bad for fucking... whoever, like, it's probably going to be Buffer that's announcing this card this weekend. I feel bad for the names he has to announce sometimes. Like, names like that, like, what the fuck? I know he's not fighting him, but Jesus Christ, man. Like, give him a fight name and just call him Rampage or some shit. But Gabe Green, coming off a loss to Iangarry. I know that was a decision loss as well, too. So he didn't get finished by Iangarry, so that's good. But he's got a decent record. He's 11-4 in his MMA career there. I could definitely see Gabe Green being the more experienced fighter. 9-2 versus 11-4. I could see Gabe Green probably getting the edge in this one there, but I think Brian Battle probably has a little bit better striking. He's a little bit longer. 6'1", 77-inch reach compared to 5'10". I mean, it's not a huge difference there, but I mean, I think it's going to be difference enough. Yeah, I mean, I like Brian Battle. I was a fan of his on The Ultimate Fighter, so hopefully he keeps the streak going. And then everyone's simping over her. Jessica Rose Clark opens up the entire card over Tainara Lisboa. No idea who Lisboa is. Not even going to talk about this fight. Just Jessica Rose Clark's probably going to... She's either going to win or she's going to lose. That's my expert opinion. Thank you very much. But this card's not bad. I mean, it starts off kind of slow on the prelims there, but it builds momentum as the card goes on. And not saying it's top heavy. I'm saying it's evenly distributed, especially once you get onto the main card there. You're going to have some fun fights. I would say Brian Battle is going to be a good fight. Ji Yeon Kim, who cares? Natan Levy and everything after that, I would say, is something I would definitely watch and I would pay attention to highly. But either way, back to the main event here. Rozenstruik's going to get submitted by jailtonalmeida. Put money on it. Bet the house. There hasn't been a submission guy in the heavyweight division for quite some time. Expect him to make a run towards the top of that division and probably have a lot of success, because we all know the heavyweight division right now, besides Curtis Blades, is really striking heavy at the moment. So I expect him to use that to his advantage. Anthonysmith, the veteran, versus Johnny crazy-ass Walker. It's going to be a great slobber knocker, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of damage done in that fight. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Iangarry finally gets a test against a ranked opponent, Danielrodriguez. I got Danielrodriguez probably not necessarily outboxing him, but just outgrinding him, making it a dirty, ugly fight there. Pushing him against the fence, clinching him, dirty boxing, the whole nine. And carlosulberg's going to knock out the Ukrainian. So it's pretty much what we got on tap for this weekend here. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you like the videos, make sure to tune in every week. We got ones pre-fight, post-fight, review, and preview. So tune in accordingly. Follow me on Twitter at SeeingRedMMA. Other than that, guys, you have yourself a great rest of your day.